Hello and welcome back to our channel. It is the time for Spotify Wrapped, but I'm doing it differently. I'm going full YouTube Wrapped. And that is, of course, reflecting on what 2024 was for Two Times Creative. And I just want to answer some questions. I want you to answer questions. I'm going to hold you accountable for quick answers with all of them. Basically just summarizing how 2024 was for us.
We love it, Darren, because as you mentioned, first year of business for Two Times Creative. So it is a big one. And as they say in the classics, we're only just getting started, but I feel like we are just getting started, so it's exciting.
If you're new here, of course, we are Two Times Creative, and this channel is designed to help you dominate content while we do the exact same. So stick around. We're going to chat all things reflection, 2024 Wrapped. Let's talk about it.
Nice one, Darren. Hit me with the first. How are we going to do this? Are you playing the role of interviewer and then you'll chime in with... Because if you're not across this as well, I work in the business full time. Darren is... sort of just a contractor, freelancer, co-owner, a bit of everything. But you're going to play the role of the interviewer because probably, I haven't looked at the questions. No
Peeking. They're just there.
Yeah, no peeking, but they're probably going to be more relevant to me, was my point.
Exactly. I will do my best to answer them as well, but I'm going to captain this ship because Michael captained the Two Times Creative ship, as I always say. But let's jump into it. Remember, short and sharp. I don't want you rambling.
Okay. I want you to hold me accountable.
All right, let's do it. So, first one. What was your biggest milestone or milestones this year?
Starting the thing, keeping momentum for a full 12 months and just doing what I made the decision to do. So I guess failure would have just been stopping halfway.
It's more like
we've gotten there.
Yeah, executing what you actually spoke about.
Yeah, executing the initial plan.
Great. I'm happy with that. Let's roll into number 2. What was your most rewarding project?
Jeez, if we can keep this pace, we're flying.
Well, I just think it's really, and as I said, not rambling, I'm going to ramble. But no, it's really easy just to keep talking.
It is. Most rewarding project.
Stop. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. So Hyrox is a fitness competition.
Sorry, it threw me off there.
Yeah,
so
it's
just very busy over here.
It's a fitness competition. And it's probably the most rewarding because everybody that was in that competition, they didn't know each other. So not only did we produce some really cool pieces of video content, it was just one of those ones that made me really appreciate getting to know new people from different walks of life and using our skill set in content creation to document that and create some really cool videos that had impact beyond the sport or fitness, because as we know, fitness is often just more of like there's often stories as to why people are doing the competitions or gym or whatever.
Nice.
Didn't expect that answer, did you?
No, because I'm getting confused. That's not Chris Hemsworth brand, right?
I was there for Chris Hemsworth's brand, correct? So I was there for Centre.
Oh, that's the same one. Yeah, Centre, that's right.
But the Hyrox fitness competition, they use the Centre equipment. So I was there on behalf of Centre, but it was the Hyrox thing. So you nailed it. Don't worry, man.
It was actually the right one because I remember that one. Anyway, great answer.
Do you have a most rewarding project?
True. I'm going to try. I said I was going to try to answer, and you are not asking me after you're done. What's that, Michael?
I said, do you have a most rewarding project from the year?
Well,
And again, if you are new here, Darren is known to be the thinker or the rambler, so I'm going to cut you off if you don't answer it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sitting on the fence. Nah, whatever you answered, I'm happy with it. What
you didn't do the project though.
But that was no. Honestly, like
you don't have one.
In terms of Two Times Creative projects, a lot of has been executed by Michael. But I'm just going to say you've done a lot, and I say this all the time. I lose track of what Michael does week to week. So they're all rewarding from the outside.
These answers could be your normal job at the NBL and the basketball as well. But next one.
That's a fair point. Maybe I should execute relate it to my full time. Now, this is something I was excited to talk about, Michael. New skills learned along the way, and I reckon we could do a completely new episode about skills we've learned over our entire journey of content creation because there's a lot of them. I can think of many that I'm kind of keen to talk about. But what are some new skills you've learned
this year,
2024 only? Or improved on. Maybe it's not from starting from scratch.
Speaking would be one because, as you know, I did at the beginning of the year, I did some stand-up presentations in rooms full of 20 to 30 young photographers. So if I were to pick one skill from the year that I'd like to do more of and I took from it, it's speaking in front of people. And obviously doing a couple of podcasts and now our YouTube content, definitely the art of speaking with my pronunciation.
Open your mouth wide when you, more wider when you talk. It actually helps with audio and it helps with clear pronunciation.
It looks funny though.
Pronunciation. Yeah, I was going to say, just touching on speaking, it was very cool to see you. There's been a few times where you're like the Zoom guest when people ask you questions and you're also presenting to the Port something Melbourne Footy Club. Well, I forgot the name of them, but Michael stood up and talked about photography and sort of ran a little course there, which was very cool. So credit to you, Michael.
Thank you. South Jet Metro Junior Football League, so I don't know where you got the port from. But
Was it in Port Melbourne?
no.
Anyway, skills I learned. I'm going to go with speaking as well, but also writing. Writing our newsletter we take it in turns every fortnight, but that has been something I enjoy doing because it relates back to what we talk on here, but then we also put it in written format in a different kind of way. We get your input, that type of stuff. So that's definitely something I've enjoyed.
I'd like to steal that answer from you as well, because
That's my answer.
I have a lot of LinkedIn content, but what is that? It's
LinkedIn.
writing. So I've been enjoying the art of writing through LinkedIn. So I'm going to steal that answer.
LinkedIn King.
Michael Barker, give me a follow.
I spoke about all the projects you've worked on. Is there one that stands at the very top? Is there just one? I know you talked about Center and High Rock, was it?
Yeah, I've got High Rocks.
But
I've got
what
one.
about
I've got one project I'm most proud of.
Please.
2 times creative.
Damn, I felt that.
Well, it's
No, it's
literally
great.
the honest truth.
It's
You
the
could
biggest
say
project.
the business exactly, and I'm bloody proud of it so far.
I agree. That's no more. We don't need to talk about that one. 'Cause
Cut.
That's actually a great answer.
Produce that.
I didn't expect that. Next one. Did you work with any exciting new clients? I love we just had a lovely lunch together, Michael. Thank you for paying for that. But we
You paid for it.
Oh, true. That's funny actually. We were talking about that during our meal. That it's just cool how many connections we have these
Yeah.
days. So it's kind of hard to separate them. It's like a favorite kid. So don't offend people. But who's a favorite?
Yeah. Not a favourite, but I'll say a big supporter of mine from day one, and something that I've had a few shoots to do with the wonderful team at the AFL Players Association.
Yes.
So they are a players association for the local, not the local footy league, the Australian Football League for anyone that might not be from Australia. But they've been terrific to work with, but also just sort of, hey, like you're essentially starting fresh as a business, working for yourself. So anyone that kind of back you in and I'm probably not giving myself enough kudos because they're backing you in and rehiring you for a reason, but I'll give them a shout out.
Made an impact, so they want to keep going with you. But they have kind of been like a staple of 2024 for you. So good answer.
Thank you.
Any exciting new clients? I'm just going to answer my most recent one, and that is Marina Whittle. She's starting a podcast. I find her very funny. Like I was just saying as well during our lunch. I was just saying that she's very funny on camera, and even the bits that we're not going to use for the podcast. She's just very relatable and quirky. So Marina Whittle, shout out to you. Exciting new project launching. So that's my most recent.
I like that one. And for context, how does that, like, who is she in terms of what it's something we're doing a bit more of, but it probably relates to our work with athletes and brands.
Yeah, it's sort of like part of the brand management scheme that we've
No, it makes it sound like we're ripping people
Yeah,
off.
it's true. Brand management theme that we've over the last month or so we've definitely dived in. But she's an Olympian, 3x3 Olympian, basketball pro, traveled all around the world, played it all around the world. That's a bit of background to her, but she's a very fun character.
Yeah. So new clients, like, to answer that question, I guess new clients like her could be a way of wrapping it up in your favorite new client is working with new athletes.
Yes, exactly right, Michael.
You got what I was saying.
I did. And I like this one, but a bit of feedback that maybe sticks out into your brain.
We're flying here.
But that's what you want.
I love it.
Rambling is the enemy. But a bit of feedback that's just like ingrained in your brain. Is that? Yeah, ingrained in your brain. Anything that stands out over your journey of this year?
What's the actual question?
I kind of worded it in my own way, but what client feedback impacted you the most? But I like just like what stood out the most. What's the question? Didn't I word it well?
No, because I was actually following the run sheet and I thought, have you gone off track here? I don't know if there's one. We said at the start of the show that if there's not one, I've gotten a couple with them. I love the raw emotion of a quick response that sort of ignites the passion in you. Like I remember doing a bit of mic'd up content for a particular client and her all caps response over email saying how much she loves it and I'm the absolute best. Her words, I didn't say it. Just responses like that from clients that are those raw reactions in the moment. They're not manufacturing anything. It's actually their raw reaction. It's just like, yeah, I love that. You never get sick of that.
That's actually so true. Like the people that, like, if you're stoked with a piece of work, make it clear that you're stoked with a piece of work.
Yeah.
Because trust me, it feels really cool rather than just like, thank you.
It does. Yeah.
It's like, well, I just spent like 5 days on this.
Yeah,
Like,
it
can
does
you
a
give me a
lot.
bit more? Especially if you don't like it, fine. If you're satisfied to the minimum level,
Yeah.
a thank you might do. But if you're stoked, that's a good one. There's nothing better than reading that.
That's a great point. Do you have any, off the top of your head, any responses or feedback from clients that you were like, yeah?
Well, I'm going to take this
shit
in
hot.
I'm going to take this in a different direction. It's not really feedback or anything. It's more like advice we give. I really like the expect to be shit mindset that we keep talking about. So it's not really feedback, but it is because we have given it to ourselves. I've given it to you, you've given it to me, we've given it to others. So just expect to be bad upon beginning. I really like that.
Yep, I like it too. So you've looped it back into giving us a pat on the back, which I love. You've done that really well.
Oh, it's all how you spin a question.
It
Next
is.
one, Michael. And remember, I'm asking the question, so you don't actually have to look and be like, what is the question? How has your business evolved this year? That's a very broad one. But how has it evolved,
It evolved because it has began.
Yes.
So it went from nothing to something. But I will say, no, in an actual serious way, I've got an answer for that. From the very beginning, we were sort of a master of everything. Video, photography, social media management. We can do it all. Graphic design, probably more you than me. But
100%.
Definitely the transition to be video focused first. So I think that's really helped me from a confidence point of view that taking the time to think about it, but video production is probably the box number one to tick in terms of if that's what I want to be known for. It's video. Not losing that we do everything else, but just in terms of being a master of something and being known for something, it's video production for high performance brands as opposed to everything else I just listed. So that's definitely been a transition because it's not how we started. It's been off advice. Yeah, niching down would have been a good way to summarize.
You know what I'm going to try to do here? And I was just running through it in my brain and I worded it really well. But I'm going to run through some quick steps of the business. Okay?
Yeah.
And
Timeline.
This includes like a timeline, what we've added in terms of content. But let me try it. Okay, so...
Hang on. Do you reckon you could do this in, what, should I challenge you, 30 seconds or a minute?
Yeah.
No, which one?
Oh, 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
No, a minute. Shut up. Anyway, it's so launch the brand. Both of us do it as a part-time thing. Michael goes full-time. Hooray. Darren thinks, damn, this is interesting. I'll just stick to my full-time because I love it. Darren still helps out. What do we do next? It's basically just like launch, get our feet wet, try some things.
Yeah, creating it, the asset.
Create the socials, our business, our email, create assets is the headline.
Yeah.
Next, invest in business coaching. Not sure if it was 100% next, but it was a great step.
Business plan could have been slightly before that when I went over to yours and we had our business plan session.
True, we had a strategy session. Yeah. So strategy session, business coaching, sort of just deep dive into more content in terms of how it's going to work. I'm going to add niching down there.
Yeah.
I'm going to add... You originally wanted to post every day for...
I did for the first 30 days, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Because I had stuff to post.
Start off with a bang, consistency.
Yeah.
I've actually just lost track of my fingers, but that's all right. Add a newsletter. Add niche. I've already said niching down, but I reckon you've niched down a fair few times.
Well, evolution, yep.
Yep. YouTube show.
YouTube, yep.
Is there any more steps? And now we're here.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. A nice little graphic you might be able to whip up during the week for the viewers.
I think I did it better in my head, but that's all right. I think that was quite cool.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. Next one. Any unexpected opportunities that came your way that hit your inbox?
I like this one because I've actually got a recent answer.
Oh, I see that.
Oh, don't spoil it.
Well,
anyway,
proof you have seen one of the questions.
A brand, true. Yeah, I've got myself in a hole here. A brand recently reached out to us that found us purely by searching for creators on TikTok, and nothing came of that. That was actually
weird story.
No, nothing came of that due to my doing because I wanted more information, but that's not the point. The point is TikTok has been a platform that we haven't seen amazing engagement or growth. It's steady, but it sort of reassured to me that this one brand, Australia-based, found us purely for that because we were doing the type of piece-to-camera content they were looking for from creators. So that was definitely an unexpected opportunity, and it showed me that there's power in posting stuff on the platforms that might seemingly not be getting a whole lot of engagement, but it's worth it because hell, if one brand finds you, that's all the evidence I need to see that it's worth it. That's all you need.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
I
you're
got
excited
to jump in. When you told me about this, I think that's exactly what I said to you. No, along those lines, but it's so true. Like, okay, our number one platform of growth is not TikTok, but we know how valuable it is and how big it is. So we... personalized content for that. We do all that, but sometimes everyone's human. You look at those numbers. Sometimes you're like, not great.
We're vain creatures, aren't we?
Yeah, you want that validation and stuff, even though you tell yourself you don't and you shouldn't. But we're human again. But all you need is one person to see it and one person to email you, and it's just like, okay, it's worth it. I'm gonna keep putting in content on those platforms. I'm gonna keep doing content full stop because if you enjoy it, things can come from it, and that's all that matters. And that's the end of my motivational.
Preach, my brother.
Brother. Great. No, there's a few more. Thought I was going to win it down. All right, next one. I think we're slowing down. We're slowing down.
Remember you're talking about
Great.
speech, pronounce your words.
Shut up. Habits along the way that have helped you actually meet these deadlines and like pump out content.
Yeah, I wrote this one down. Cheat sheet. Time blocking my calendar. So I think I didn't start the year doing this, but now I've got different colors for different things. I can even let you know what they are. Yellow is working on business. Purple is video editing. Blue, a nice light blue, is shoots. Green is 2 times creative content.
Jeez, you got a lot. I've got 2.
And coaching that goes under working on business. So I can, every Monday morning, I calendar block my whole week. There are gaps for lunch. Make sure you put your gaps in.
Yeah, me time as well, rest.
There are gaps if I'm due time off or don't have anything on. So gaps, white gaps are really nice to look at. But the time blocking is, if anyone hasn't tried it, particularly if you are sort of in the luxury of working in your own time, try it.
I love time blocking, and I love Notion calendar, and I assume that's what you use.
Yeah, Notion.
Bloody
hell, get around us, Notion, because we would give you, I mean, anyway, go Notion. I bloody love it. I don't know where I was going with
Notion
that.
is great, and if there's a question about like the biggest piece of technology or equipment or whatever that
New platform or something,
yeah, like something that you've incorporated into your workflow, Notion, just love it. Anyway,
by the way, I've forgotten to bounce any of these back, so
no, that was me kind of doing it.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway,
smooth. If I didn't pick up on it,
we've got some quick fire ones at the end because I'm making them quicker. But what inspired you most creatively? I think that's pretty hard to do. But what's inspired you most creatively?
Not comparing.
I was
not
thinking the same.
consuming and comparing others' content. I still do from a disassociated. I'm going to say that word, like disassociated view. Like I'll watch it, but I'm not going to watch it from like a thing of I want to take that from their video to apply to mine. Does that make sense?
No, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
So I still consume other creators and other businesses' content, but I definitely am not. I've definitely confirmed for me that I'm not the type to find inspiration from trying to compare and take bits from other people's videos, at least consciously.
It's a very tough thing because like you consume and I consume content because it's enjoyable, but then if you do it too much, it becomes it's probably enjoyment, and then it crosses over to comparing when it should just be enjoyment, and then you need to find that grey area of just going off and turning off those advices when turning off that advice and devices.
Turn off your device
when
if you keep speaking like that.
When it gets to that comparing stage, which is hard.
Very hard, but definitely that would come to mind with that question.
Work-life balance, is that pretty much the calendar? Is that how you kept up a good work-life balance?
Yeah, but also just holding myself accountable. I actually think I'm pretty good at this. I've talked to a lot of like business owners fresh in their entrepreneurial careers, and it's a common thing that I think people struggle with, and I actually think I've done a pretty decent job. It's always an ongoing thing, but definitely the calendar and just your own accountability.
Hold yourself accountable in terms of giving yourself a
break. Yeah, better word for that is boundaries. Knowing your boundaries after work. You don't have to respond to everything straight away, so boundaries has been key.
It's also not that important.
No.
You get an email, it's not that important to reply that night because I've got a bit of lunch stuck in my throat. Excuse me. No, it's also not that important, as I said. Like, you can literally wait till the next morning, and I reckon you're guaranteed to write that email or come across as more energized and motivated in feedback in anything you're replying to if you just wait the next morning.
That's a good tidbit, if that's the word. I mean, they're emailing for a reason. They're not expecting a respond over like a text message.
Exactly. Michael, what have I got for you? What lessons will shape 2025? I just said 2025.
2025. What lessons will shape it? I don't have an answer for you. I don't have a great answer for you. Just everything
we've covered. Probably.
Yeah, I think just keeping momentum from this year and trying to apply things as I go. That's a very loose-ended question, but there's something that comes to mind.
I've got something for you.
Yeah?
Like, keep 2024 as your guide. Like, you've done extremely well in year one, but it is just year one, so don't expect to climb the mountain in 2025 straight away, but just stick with it. I reckon exactly what we're doing. We've had some cool wins. There's been some times you question what we're doing, but it's fine to keep pivoting as well.
Yeah, keep the long game mindset.
Long game mindset. No, exactly.
Be a good way to recap what we both just said, I think.
Good one, Michael.
Good on Darren.
Well, this is what was your favorite piece of gear, which I like. I want you to answer that, like favorite item of camera equipment or tripod. Maybe you love that down here. But
shout out to Mad Friday.
Yeah. But mine is Notion. It's not gear, but This
No,
is where technology comes
Did we
in.
only start? You only started using it this year, yeah.
Well, probably for work-wise, yeah. Anyway, this is gear, so don't answer technology.
Easy one for me. Sony FX3. Like I think when I got that, you see the quality of your videos that come back, but just the confidence it gives you. Even just the shallow nature of I was able to invest in a $5,000 camera of upgrading it. Like that came out of your bank account. Nah. But it does. It gives you that. Like I'll be transparent. In year one, I bought a new phone, laptop, and camera, and that just comes from hard work and sort of doing stuff. But it's also just like you've got to invest. Everyone always says you got to invest to reap the rewards. Invest in yourself. Invest in the business. And that's what I've been able to do. And the Sony FX3 has given me a lot more confidence and just, yeah, it's hard to go past that bad boy.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to talk about it when it's looking at me, but it's like and
It's not alive. You shouldn't feel awkwardness with that.
No, it's a great point, and it's also oh damn, it was definitely something I wanted to touch on.
Oh, it's blushing.
Hang on, no, it's just the whole like you don't work 5 days a week or however many hours per week to just literally work and stop. Like you have to reward yourself. It's not even rewarding, it's more investing. I think that's a better word. So
yeah,
if you don't, you just work and then sort of just sit there like, there's no highs. Just middle ground.
No, it's a very good point. It's almost like there's no, it just keeps going. There's sort of no payback of, you're not seeing any sort of results. Because that is a form of a result, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it helps everyone. I'm going to answer that for my own. Exactly the same. Sony FX6 has been great for work, like the quality. And when I'm shooting, like I sort of laugh about how many times I reference the handle on it, but just things like that to make you more confident, to make the end result better, and to make you feel better about the overall product.
I'd like to add for the FX6, I think it's helped and will continue to help with your knowledge of video settings as well, because you've asked me questions, you've pointed out things. As recent as last week, we had a discussion about, I don't know what it was, ISO or something, where it's expanded your knowledge. So that's another factor of new equipment.
Learning, growing, love it. Oh, this is interesting. I'd be keen if you have one, but if you could redo one project, is there any and why?
Like from a point of I got it wrong, or just because it was fun?
I reckon wrong. I reckon as in like if you could do it better, or like maybe like a setting or just something, or like what you brought to the shoot or how you edited it, or I don't know. Or just pass.
Not pass on that. The only thing I would say is the first proper ND filter I got for my camera was, might be too niche, but it's what I was talking to you about the other week. It was, I bought a 6-9 stop, which for those who aren't across an ND filter, it's the darker, it starts at 6 and goes to 9. So that's the only ND filter I had. Whereas I wish I bought the 1-4 first, because there were times where I was on shoots and my 6 level of darkness was way too dark. So I had to bump up the ISO. So it's not redoing, but it's probably doing more research before you buy the equipment.
Yes, research was the word that came to mind. Yeah, because it's just kind of like looking into it a bit more before you're doing it. But that
not a project, but that
only comes with the experience. Yeah, like, and if you I would much rather you do that than you just sitting there being like I need an ND filter, but I don't know the perfect one, so therefore I'm not going to get one.
Yep, exactly.
Good one, Darren.
Good one, Darren.
Most unexpected thing that's happened on a shoot.
Oh, I wish I had an answer for this.
Yeah, someone came in and ruined
Something
it or
juicy
something.
or no, I had nothing.
Pretty stock standard.
Yeah, unexpected was I didn't absolutely nail every shot I got.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I don't think
high
so.
expectations. I'm trying to think of something that's happened in NBL basketball land. Most unexpected thing.
Unexpected, yeah, it's hard.
No, I don't really know, honestly. Like, we try to be as planned out and proper at the NBL as we can. But anyway, great question. Maybe we'll have to rethink that. Last but not least, what's your dream project? I'm going to throw in there client for next year.
This is hard because, as we know, you don't know the people behind the brand. So it's sort of a funny one. I think in a recent YouTube video, I named like the Adidas's, the New Balances. I don't know what you're laughing at.
No, sorry.
But you don't actually know if they're going to be good to work with. So you're just naming them for the sake of it. But I'm going to continue with that. Something like what do you call them? It's like a sporting apparel, but they also do shoes, like those Adidas, New Balance,
Apparel's
Puma.
not bad, yeah.
Yeah, one of them. I'd love to do more with them because it also brings out like a lot of those shoots are like lifestyle as well. So it puts you in different environments that you're not normally.
Yeah, maybe like a sport brand powerhouse is the word.
Yeah, I like it.
I reckon for me, I really enjoy working, and you're the same, with athletes individually. Yeah. So whether it's brand management, helping with their social media, just just going on shoots with them, even if it's a one-off. I think the best part about this gig almost is just the relationship and stuff you can have with these athletes. That's a very cool part of it to me. So that's what excites me for 2025, because it's the same as every year, or same as 2024. You look back on it and you're like, wow, that's really cool that I got to work with so-and-so. So 2025, I have no doubt, will be the same.
Yeah, I love it. It's good to it's important to reflect on the people you've already worked with and not always think about what's next.
Exactly. Well, Michael,
That's a wrap on the wrap.
that was good, actually. You at home, go reflect on what you've done this year, because we do some cool things and we're sometimes too stuck in the grind to acknowledge it or appreciate it.
You're right. Thanks for watching.